Welcome back to board preparation series for class 10 on my channel Mathify with Minakshi. Today in this video we'll discuss topic wise important questions from chapter number 12 surface areas and volumes. But before moving to questions you should know these important formulas. If you remember these formulas half the chapter is done. Now let's apply these formulas and solve the most important exam oriented questions from these topics one by one. Let's see first topic cube. First question, two cubes have their volumes in the ratio 1 is to 27 and you have to find the ratio of their surface area. So ratio of volume is given. Now you should know the formula of volume of cube, that's side cube divided by side dash cube because we have two cubes here. Now its ratio is 1 is to 27. Can we find the ratio of side is to side dash? Just see carefully. 1 by 27 is cube of 1 by 3. Now we can take cube root both the side. That means cube get cancelled. So we know the ratio of side and side dash. We have to find ratio of surface area. Now what's the formula of total surface area? Whenever the word is not mentioned, it means it's total, not literal. Okay, so TSA is 6 into side square. And for second one I will writing 6 into side dash square. You can cut 6 and 6 and you are left with side by side dash whole square, and that's 1 by 3 square. So 1 by 3 square means 1 is to 9. We have to find ratio. So answer is 1 is to 9. That is B option. Let's move to next topic. Cuboid. The sum of length, breadth and height of a cuboid is 6 root 3. What is given? L plus B plus H is 6 root 3. And length of its diagonal. If you will see the previous slide carefully, I have already written here the length of diagonal of a cuboid. Just learn this formula. It's square root of L square plus B square plus H square. So we'll use that formula. That diagonal is square root of L square plus B square plus H square. That is given to us 2 root 3. If you will take square both the sides, what will get? Here square and square roots get cancelled. And here 2 root 3 whole square. Now what's the square of 2 root 3? You will take the square of both the numbers. 2 square is 4 and root 3 square is 3. That means 4 into 3, 12. Now we have to find TSA of cuboid. Now what is TSA of cuboid? That is twice of LB plus BH plus HA. Now just think carefully. Can we use this and this in one formula? Yes. L plus B plus H whole square. The identity A plus B plus C whole square. That's L square plus B square plus C square plus twice of LB plus BH plus HA. Now, what we know here, L plus B plus H, that's given 6 root 3. So you will take 6 root 3 whole square. And what is L square plus B square plus H square? That we have already found. It's 12. Just put the value here. And this I can simply write TSA. I have to find TSA. Now 6 root 3 square. That means 6 square into root 3 square. 6 square is 36. Root 3 square is 3. 36 into 3. That's you can write 108. You will transpose 12 to left side. You will get minus 12. Now your TSA is 108 minus 12 and that's 96 centimeter square. See the unit carefully. Sometimes they can give you option 96 centimeter or 96 centimeter square. Let's move to next topic. Cylinder. First question, the sum of the radius and height of a cylinder is 37. Let's write that. It's given R plus H is 37. It's also given TSA of cylinder is 1628. What is TSA of cylinder? TSA of cylinder, you know the formula. It's 2 pi R in bracket H plus R. That is given to you 1628. Now we know the value of R plus H. So just write 2 pi R into 37 is equal to 1628. If you will transpose 37 to that side directly, what you'll get? 37 into 44 is 1628. And what is 2 into 22 by 7? That's 44 2 into 22, and you can cut this 44. So R by 7 is 1. That means your R is 7 centimeter. Now, R is 7. Then can you say what is your H? Yes, H is 37 minus R. That means 37 minus 7, 30 centimeter. We have to find volume of cylinder. Now, what's the volume of cylinder? Volume of cylinder is pi r square h. Simply the area of base into height. Area of base is pi r square and height h. Now, simply put 22 by 7 into 7 and your h is 30. We can cut 7 and 7. 22 into 7 is 154 into 30. 154 into 3, that is 462 and 1 0. Just use centimeter cube because it's volume. So this is your final answer. Let's move to second question. The difference between outer and inner curved surface area of a hollow right circular cylinder 14 centimeter long, that means height, is 88 centimeter square. So what is given to us? The difference of outer and inner curved surface area. We know the formula of curved surface area of cylinder, that is 2 pi rh. So I'm taking outer radius as capital R and inner radius as small r. So I will write 2 pi rh minus 2 pi small rh is given 88. Height is same, that is 14. So I can take common 2 pi h and we are left with capital R minus small r is 88. If you will put the values, 2 into 22 by 7 into h is 14 into r minus r is equal to 88. We can cut this. It's 1 and 14 is 2. Now 2 into 22, 44 into 2 is 88. So we can cut this 88 with 88. What we are left with? R minus R is 1. Yes, this is our first equation. Now what is given? The volume of metal used in making the cylinder is 176 centimeter cube because it's a hollow cylinder. So if you will subtract the volume of outer minus inner, you will get 176. So let's write that. Volume of outer cylinder minus volume of inner cylinder. That is again given. It's 176. Now, volume of outer cylinder is pi capital R square h and here pi small r square h, and that is 176. Again, what you can take common? You can take pi h common and you're left with r square minus r square, which is equal to 176. Let's put the values. It's 22 by 7 into 14. R square minus R square means R minus R, R plus R. Just use the identity A square minus B square, A square plus A square minus B square is equal to A minus B into A plus B. This is given 176. Now you can cut this. 22 into 2 is 44. We know the value of R minus R. Just see here carefully. From star, R minus R is 1. That means 44 into 1 into R plus R is 176. If you will transpose that 44 to the right side, what you will get? You will get R plus R is 176 by 4. 44. 44, and that means it's 4. So you have two equations. R minus R is 1 and R plus R is 4. Now we'll solve these two equations. We know how to solve two equations. So I'm writing here R minus R is 1 and R plus R is 4. Elimination. 2R is equal to 5. That means your capital R is 5 by 2. You can say 2.5. Then what will be a small r? Because the difference is 1. That means your small r is 1.5. But we have to find the diameters. So you can say that means your capital D is double of R. You can say 5 centimeter, and small d, that's inner diameter, is double of 1.5, that is 3 centimeter. Now let's move to third question. In third question, it's given from a solid cylinder of height 2.8 centimeter. This is height of a cylinder and diameter is 4.2 centimeter. So you can say that your radius is 4.2 divided by 2, that is 2.1 centimeter. A conical cavity of the same height and same diameter is hollowed out. Find the TSA of the remaining solid. Let's draw the figure first. We have one cylinder. From that cylinder, a conical cavity of same height and same diameter is hollowed out? Radius is 2.1 for both and height is 2.8. Now, if we have to find the TSA of the solid, just think what we have to consider. First, this CSA of cylinder. Then we need to see base also. That is area of circle. You can say area of base, but that's circle, so I'm writing area of circle. And then if you will see from top, you realize that we have to consider CSA of cone too. So we have to add this to get the TSA of solid. I'm writing the direct formula. CSA of cylinder is 2 pi RH plus area of circle pi r square plus CSA of cone pi r L. Now, if you realize that we don't know L here, so we have to find that slant height, that's square root of r square plus h square. Here r is 2.1 square and h square is 2.8 square. Now 21 square is 441, that means 4.41 you will write, and 28 square is 784, so you will write 7.84. When you will add, you will get 12.25, and that's a perfect square of 3.5 centimeter. So this is your L. Now just put the values here. 2 into 22 by 7, your R is 2.1 into H 2.8 plus pi r square. Even you can take common if you want. 22 by 7 into 2.8, 2.1 into 2.1. Your R is 2.1. 2.1 into 2.1. And last, it's pi RL. 22 by 7 into 2.1 into L, that is 3.5. Now let's solve this individually. 7 into, it's, you can write 0.4 here, and this 7 into 0.3, and here 7 into 0.3. Now what will your answer? If you will solve this, you will get 36.96 plus 23.1 plus 13.86, and that is 73.92 centimeters square. Now let's move to question 4. A cylinder whose height is 2/3 of its diameter. It's given that height is 2/3 of diameter. Has the same volume as a sphere of radius 4 meter. Calculate the radius of the base of the cylinder. So what is given to us? That height is 2/3 of diameter. And you know what is diameter? Diameter is 2r. So we can say that 4r by 3 is a height. Now, it's given that volume of cylinder is equal to volume of sphere. Now, volume of cylinder is, you know, that's pi r square h. And volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. But here r is not same, so here I'm writing r dash. You can cut pi and pi from both the sides. Now let's put the values here. Here it's given that your height of cylinder is 4r by 3. And here r dash is given 4 cube. So let's solve this further. You can cut this 4 and 4. You can cut 3 and 3. So what we are left with, r cube is equal to 4 cube. That means if you take the cube root both the sides, you will get r as 4 meter. So this is your final answer. Now let's move to fifth question. A gulab jamun contains sugar syrup up to about 30% of its volume. Find the approximately how much syrup would be found in 45 gulab jamuns. Okay, that means we have to find volume of 45 gulab jamuns into 30%. So what we have to find? 30% of volume of, and gulab jamun is made up of, just see here, cylinder with two hemispherical ends. That means volume of cylinder plus volume of two hemispheres, we can say that's volume of sphere because the radius is same for both the hemisphere. into 450 into 45 because we have 45 gulab jamun. Let's draw figure for this. We have cylinder and two hemispherical at both the ends. Now what is given to us? It's given that length is 5 centimeter. Total length from here to here, it's 5 centimeter. And your diameter is 2.8. If you know that your diameter is 2.8, you can say your radius is 1.4. Now we know that for hemisphere, the height is again, it's radius only. So that means this is also 1.4. This is also 1.4. And radius is also 1.4. What you can say about the height of cylinder? Total is 5 and we have to subtract twice of 1.4. That means 2.8. We are left with 2.2. So height of cylinder is 2.2. Okay. Now just put the values here. 45 into, you can write 0.3. You can cut this into volume of cylinder is pi r square h. I'm writing first formulas for you. Plus volume of sphere, that means 4 by 3 pi r cube. Here r is same, so I'm using same small r. If r is different, then you will use r and r dash. Now let's put the values here. 3 and 45, that's 135. So you will write 13.5 into, you can take pi and r square common, so I'm taking 22 by 7 r square, 1.4 square common. And what we are left with? We are left with h, and that is height of cylinder, that is 2.2 plus 4 by 3 of r, and here r is 1.4. Yes. Now let's solve this. 13.5 into, can we cut something here? Yes, you can write 0.2. So if you multiply 22 into 0.2, that is 4.4 into 1.4, you will get 6.16 here into 2.2 plus 1.87. You have to write roughly because it will be 8666666, so you can write 1.87. And 13.5 into 2 into 25.0712, and that is somewhere around 338.46 centimeter cube approx. Now let's move to next topic, cone. First question, if the perimeter of the bases of two right circular cones, now what is base in cone? It's circle. So that means it's given that your ratio of perimeter of circle is 3 is to 4. So let's write that 2 pi r by 2 pi capital R is 3 by 4. You can cut 2 and 2. You can cut pi and pi. So that means you can say that the ratio of radius is 3 by 4. And it's also given that ratio of their volumes is 9 is to 32. That means ratio of volume of cones. What is the formula of volume of cone? 1 by 3 pi r square h. And similarly, you will write for next other cone pi r capital square. Here, height is also not same, it's not given, so you will use h dash, different variable. Now, you can cut 1 by 3, 1 by 3. You can cut pi and pi. So, now we are left with r square h by r square h dash, and that is given 9 by 32. Now, can we say something from here that we know that r by r square is 9 by 16 if we take the square of both the sides. So here I can put 9 by 16 into h by h dash is 9 by 32. You can cut 9 and 9, and this is 1 and this is 2. So what we can say that h by h dash is 1 by 2, or in ratio you can say it's 1 is to 2. That means C option is correct. Now let's move to second question. This question is of assertion and reason. Assertion: the CSA of a cone of base radius 6 centimeter, if radius is this and slant height is 10, then CSA is 60 pi. Let's check this. We know that CSA of cone is pi RL. So it's given R is 6 and L is 10. Yes, it's correct. It's 60 pi centimeter square. CSA of cone is pi r square h. No, this is false. This is the formula of volume of cylinder. So this is false. So you can say that R is true and reason is false. You can say C option is correct. Let's move to next question. Here it's given two right circular cones A and B are made. So let's divide this in two parts. We have two cones A and B. A has 3 times the radius of B. So if we will take the radius of B as R, then radius of A is 3R. Let's write that. Radius of B is R, then radius of A is 3R. After that's given, and B has half the volume of A. That means volume of B equal to half of volume of A. So let's write this. Volume of B is 1 by 3 because it's a cone. So 1 by 3 pi r square h. And for volume of A, we'll write 1 by 3 pi. Here r is 3r. 3r square. Just see this carefully, whole square. Because you will take the square of 3 as well as r. Into, we don't know height and it's not given that height is same. So you will write h dash. You have to use different variable. Now we can cut 1 by 3 and 1 by 3. We can cut pi and pi. Let's solve this. Now r square h is equal to half of 9 r square h dash. We can also cut now r square and r square. That means you can write, because you have to find the ratio of heights of A and B. For A we use height h dash and for B we use height as h. So we have to find h dash by h. That means we'll move this h to this side, h dash by h. And here we have 9 by 2 2. When you will transpose this 9 by 2 to that side, it becomes 2 by 9. So your answer is 2 is to 9. That means B option. Now let's move to fourth question. Rahul decided to donate canvas for 10 tents, conical in shape with base diameter 14 meter. That means your radius is 14 by 2. You can say 7 and height 24 meter. Always write the given information first. To a center of welfare association. If the cost of 2-meter wide canvas is rupees 40 per meter, find the amount by which Rahul helped the center. So first you will find CSA of 1 tent, and then you will multiply with 10 to get CSA of 10 tenths. So for that, you know it's pi RL. Pi is 22 by 7, R is 7, and L is R square root of R square plus H square. That is 7 square plus 24 square. Now you can cut this. You can write 22 into this 49 plus 576, that is 625, and square root of 625 is 25. That is 22 into 25, and that will give you 550 meter square. This is for 1 tent. So if we need canvas for 10 tents, so we'll find CSA of 10 tent, that is 10 into 550. You can write 5500, 5500 meter square. But here it's given that cost of 2-meter wide canvas. But we know that this should be equal to length into breadth. We know the breadth of canvas, we don't know the length. So first we'll find the length. So we'll equate that. That means L into 2 is 5500. And from here we got to know that our length is 2750 meter. Now we need canvas of 2-meter width and 2750 meter length. Now cost of 2-meter wide cloth is rupees 40 per meter, but we need 2750 meter. So that means your total cost of canvas that you need is rupees 40 into 2750, and that is 11 and then 4 zeros. Rupees 1,10,000. Let's move to next question. Question 5. A conical tent is to accommodate 11 persons. So we have a conical tent here. Now each person must have 4 meters square of space on the ground. Now we know ground is here circle. That means area of circle will be, we have 11% and each person needs 4 meter square space. So total space is on ground is 44 meters square and 20 meter cubes of air to breathe. That means they are talking about volume. So you can say volume of cone is, because it's meter cube, is 11 into, and each person need 20 meter cube of air. 22 11 into 11 is 22 0 220 meter cube. Now we have to find height of cone. How we can find the height of cone? We know the formula of volume of cone. What is volume of cone? That is 1 by 3 pi r square h, and that's given, it's 220, 1/3 of, and what is this 44? This area of circle, that is pi r square. You can directly put pi r square as 44 into h. Now 44 into 5 is 220. So if you will transpose this 3 to that side, it becomes multiply. So your height is 15 meter. Let's move to next topic. Sphere. The radius of a sphere whose volume is, it's given volume is 12 pi centimeter cube. We know the formula of volume of sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube is equal to 12 pi. You can simply cut pi and pi. Now 4 and 3 also you can cut, it's 1 and it's 3. R cube is 3 into 3, that's 9. Now how I can write that? You can write that R is, if you will take cube root both the sides, so that becomes 1 by 3. Now how I can write 9? I can write 3 square. So that means, and power means multiply the power, 3, 2 by 3. That's the answer, C option. Okay, let's move to second question. A metallic sphere of radius 6 centimeter is melted. Whenever there's a word melted, that means volume, and recast into small spheres of radius 2 centimeter. So we have a big sphere of radius 6 centimeter, and when you melt that, we get small spheres of radius 2 centimeter. We have to find how many. We got how many number of small spheres. So for number of small spheres, whenever you have to find number, you will always divide number of small spheres. You will divide the volume of bigger one, that means volume of metallic sphere divided by volume of small sphere. And whenever we have to divide, never put the value of pi, because you can cut that. Now volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi capital R cube, and here 4 by 3 pi small r cube. You can cut 4 by 3, 4 by 3 pi pi r cube. That means 6 into 6 into 6. And here small r is 2 into 2 into 2. So when you will cut, it becomes 3. Similarly here also 3 and here also 3. 3 into 3 into 3, that's 27. Answer. Now let's move to next topic. Hemisphere. First question, the volume of a hemisphere is 2425 half. So you can convert this to improper, first multiply and then plus. So I can write 2425 into 2 plus 1 by 2. What I will get? 4850 plus 1 by 2. That means 4851 by 2. That is my volume. And you know what's the volume of hemisphere? It's 2 by 3 pi r cube. So that's given to us. And we have to find CSA. CSA of hemisphere is 2 pi r square. We have to find 2 pi r square. So first I will find r from here. So let's put the values. 2 in by 3 into 22 by 7 r cube is equal to 4851 by 2. And then you will write r cube is equal to, just transpose this to this side. So 4851 by 2, and here when you will transpose it become 21 will come in numerator and 2 into 22, that's 44, will come in denominator. So now let's cut this. We can cut with the table here. Table of 11, it's 4 and this is 4, then we're left with 45, 4 and 1. Now did you write something? It's 21 square and this 21, so we can say 21 cube, and here similarly it's 2 cube. So your R is, you'll take cube root both the sides. Your R is 21 by 2. That means 10.5 centimeter. But what we have to find? We have to find CSA. So CSA is 2 pi R square, and that is 2 into 22 by 7 into 10.5 into 10.5. Now that is 44 by 7. And you know what's the square of 105? Again, you can use the trick to get the answer. That is 25 and 110. So let's cut this, but we have to use decimal also. Here put the decimal, 110.25. When you will cut, what you will get? 15.75. And the final answer is 693 centimeter square. Now let's move to second question. The internal and external diameters of a hollow hemispherical vessel are 24 and 25. That means capital D is 25 and small d is 24 centimeter. You can say that means your capital R is 12.5 and your small r is 12. If the cost of painting 1 centimeter square of the surface area is rupees 0.05, find the total cost of painting the vessel all over. So let's draw a figure for you. We have a hemisphere. Here this R is small r, this one, and this one is capital R. And we have to find the total cost of painting. First, you will paint from outside. That means you need CSA of outer hemisphere. Then you will see from top, and then you realize we have to paint from inside also, CSA of inner hemisphere. And then you are left with this portion. How will find this? This is outer circle minus inner circle. You can say area of outer circle minus inner circle. And when you will add, you will get the total area. Then you will multiply with 0.05 to get cost. So you will write CS of outer hemisphere plus CS of inner hemisphere plus this. So I will write directly now. CSF outer hemisphere. We know the formula of hemisphere. It's 2 pi r square. But outer I will write capital R square. For inner I will write small r square. And at last it's the area of circle is pi r square. So you will write pi capital R square minus pi small r square. Then now if you will add, just see 2 pi r square plus pi r square, that is 3 pi r square, and 2 pi r square minus pi r square is positive pi r square. And now you can take pi common and you are left with 3 capital R square plus small r square. Pi is 22 by 7. 3 into capital R is 12.5 square plus 12 square. You can write 22 by 7. When you will multiply this, what you will get? 468.75 plus 144. That is 22 by 7 into 612.75. And when you will solve, what you will get? You will get 1925.78. And this is your total area that you have to paint in centimeter square. But here it's given we have to find cost of painting, and for 1 centimeter square it's 0.05. Now if you will multiply this area with 0.05, you will get the total cost. So let's write total cost now. I'm writing here total cost is 0.05 into 1925.78. It's in rupees. If you multiply this, you will get in rupees. So what's the answer? That is 96.29 approx. Right? Approx. Now let's move to next topic, combination of solids. This is one of the most important topic, as from this topic 4 to 5 marker question can come. If the ratio of the volume of a cube to that of sphere, which will fit inside the cube. So let's draw that. Imagine this is a cube. Then it's given that sphere is exactly fit inside this cube. It will touch. Now, here it's a side of cube, and that means your diameter is equal to side. You can say side is equal to 2r. Now, we have to find the ratio. Volume of cube means side cube divided by volume of sphere. That's 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now, what's your side? It's 2r. So, you can write 2r cube upon 4 by 3 pi r cube. If you'll solve this, 2 cube, that's 8, and r cube is r cube. 4 by 3 pi r cube. You can cut r cube and r cube. Now 8 into, if you transpose this side, what you will get? It become 3 by 4 pi. Now can we cut something? Yes, we can cut this. We left with 6 by pi. So our answer of ratio is 6 is to pi. Let's move to second question. TSA of solid sphere is given 48 centimeter square. We know the formula of TSA of sphere. That's 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square, and that is given it's 48. And we have to find that if it's bisected into two hemisphere, then TSA of any one hemisphere. We know, suppose this is a sphere, and when you'll bisect in two hemisphere, so you have to find TSA of this hemisphere. We know the formula of TSA of hemisphere, that's 3 pi r square. TSA of hemisphere is 3 pi r square. So what you will do, you will can directly find the value of pi r square from first. That is pi r square is equal to 48 by 4. Just to save you on time, you can write it's 12. Now just put here, it's 3 into 12, that is 36 centimeter square. D option. Now let's move to next question. A sphere of maximum volume is cut out from a hemisphere of radius 6 centimeters. So let's draw the figure first. We have a hemisphere of radius 6 centimeter, and we have to cut out a sphere of maximum volume. That means that your diameter of sphere should be equal to radius of hemisphere. That means your diameter of sphere is equal to radius of hemisphere. That means 6. This means that radius of sphere is 3. 6 by 2 you can say, that's 3. Now we have to find the volume of that sphere. So volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. 4 by 3 pi r cube. So you can say 4 by 3 pi, and what's r? It's 3. 3 cube. You can write 4 by 3 pi into 27, and that's 3 into 9. That means 36 pi. Here we have to use pi as 3.14. So you can write 36 into 3.14, and that will give you 113.04 centimeter cube because it's volume. Let's move to question number 4. A toy is in the form of a cone mounted on hemisphere. Mounted on hemisphere. So we have a hemisphere, and on that we have cone. Okay, this is all over toy. Now, the diameter of the base of the conical portion is 6 centimeter. That means you can say the radius is 3 and its height is 4 centimeter. Height of conical part is 4. Here it's written conical portion and height is 4. That's why we are not taking height as full. We are just taking for cone. So height is 4 centimeter. You know for hemisphere that this one is also radius. Okay. Now we have to find the surface area of toy. What would be the surface area of toy? That means surface area of toy is CSA of cone plus CSA of hemisphere. When you will add this, you will get total surface area of toy. You will not include the middle one because that is inside the figure. So we'll write CSA of cone is pi RL and CS of hemisphere is 2 pi r square. Here r is same, so we can take pi r common and we are left with L plus 2r. Now, what is L? Let's find L. L is r square plus h square and that is r is 3 square plus 4 square. That is 9 plus 16. You can say 25 and that is 5. So I can write 22 by 7 into R is 3 into L plus 2R. L is 5 and 2R is 6. We can write 22 by 7 into 3 into 11. And that's 66 into 11 by 7, which is equal to 726 by 7. And you can write 103.62 centimeter square is your final answer. Let's move to next question. A solid wooden toy is in the form of a hemisphere surmounted by cone. That means you have a hemisphere and on top of that we have cone. It's given that radius of hemisphere is 3.5 centimeter and total wood used in making the toy 1665 by 6 centimeter cube. You will see carefully centimeter cube. That means total volume is given to you. Total volume is, and what is total volume for this? It's volume of hemisphere plus volume of cone. And total is 1665 by 6. Again, it's given in mixed fraction. You will convert it to improper. Volume of hemisphere is, let's write the formulas first. 2 by 3 pi r cube plus volume of cone, that's 1 by 3 pi r square h. R is same, so I'm writing small r for both. If r is different, then you will use r and r dash. Now, you can write 166 into 6 plus 5 by 6 is equal to, just take common 1 by 3. You can take pi also common and r square. So you are left with 2r plus h. Now, when you will multiply, what you will get? 996 plus 5, that is 1001 by 6. Here, 22 by 7 into 1 by 3, r square is 3.5. 2r plus h. 2r is 3.5 into 2, that is 7 plus h. H we don't know, we have to find that. It's written find the height of the toy. We have to find that. Now, let's do, after that it's written 1 by 3, 22 by 7. What's the square of 3.5? That's 12.25. Whenever number ends with 5, just write 25. And for the first number, just multiply it with next number. So this is the way how you can find square of a number. Now, so now you can see that we can cut 7 and 12.25. What we'll get? In 1 and 1.75. And this is 1001 by 6. You can cut 3 and 6 too. Now, it's 1001 by 2 is equal to 22 into 1.75, that is 38.5 into 7 plus h. Now, when you will move 38.5 in denominator, it's 38.5 into 2, that's 77 is equal to 7 plus h. Now, we can cut this, the table of 11, yes, 7 times, and this is 9 and 1 time. Now, 7 into 13 is 91. So you're left with 7 plus h is 13. That means your h is 13 minus 7, and which is equal to 6 centimeter. So this is your h. Now we have to find cost also. So you will write that, I'm writing here, total cost is for painting hemispherical part of the toy. You have to just paint hemispherical part. That means CSA of hemisphere into 10. Now what is CSA of hemisphere? It's 2 pi r square into 10, and that is 2 into 22 by 7 into r square, that's 3.5 into 3.5, you can write 12.25 into 10. Again you can cut 7 and 12.25, you get 1.75, that is 44 into 17.5, and that will give you rupees 770. So you have to see carefully that in question they just ask hemispherical part of the toy you have to paint. That's why we didn't add the CSA of cone. Now let's move to next question. A sphere of diameter 12 centimeter, that means radius is 6 centimeter, is dropped in a right circular cylindrical vessel partially filled with water. Let's draw figure first. We have a cylinder partially filled with water. When you drop sphere of radius 6 centimeter, then there is an increase in water level, and it's given that height is 5 by 9 centimeter. Rise in water level is 5 by 9 centimeter. And here we have to find the diameter of cylindrical vessel. So let's take its radius as capital R. So diameter will be 2 into R. Now we know this thing that this much increase in volume of cylinder is because of this sphere. So volume of sphere is equal to increase in volume of cylinder. Now, volume of sphere formula is 4 by 3 pi r cube, and here r is 6. 6 cube, which is equal to increase in volume of cylinder, that means pi r square h. Pi capital R square, and h is given 3 5 by 9. If you will solve, you will get 9 into 3 is 27. 27 plus 5, that is 32 by 9. Now we can cut, it's 3 into 1 and it's 3 into 3. Here 4, 1 and here 4 into 8. Now we can also cut pi and pi. Now we are left with 216 is equal to r square into 8 by 3. As you have to find r square, so you will leave that alone, and 8 by 3, when it will go to that side, it becomes 3 by 8. Now you will cut this with a table of 8, 8 into 1, and here 8 into 2, and then 7. So your r square is 81. 27 into 3 is 81. That means your r is square root of 81. You can say 9 centimeter. And this implies that your diameter is 2 into r, and that is 18 centimeter. Now let's move to next question. The decorative block is made of two solids, a cube and a hemisphere. The base of a block is a cube with edge 5 centimeters. So let's draw that cube. So we have a cube whose side is 5 centimeter. Now it's given and the hemisphere fixed on the top has a diameter 4.2. Now see carefully, it's not exactly 5, it's 4.2. So it will not cover the full face, you can say, of top. It's like this. Okay, and here it's 4.2 diameter, you can say radius is here 2.1. Now we have to find the total surface area of the block. If we'll see carefully, for total surface area, first we'll find the TSA of cube. Then we realize that this much portion we don't need. So we'll remove this area of circle minus area of circle. And then we need this upper portion, that means CSA of hemisphere. So let's write this now. Formula: total surface area of the block. TSA of cube, that means 6 into side square, minus area of circle, that is pi r square, plus hemisphere, CSA of hemisphere, that's 2 pi r square. Now 6 into side is 5. 6 into 5 square minus pi r square into 2 pi r square means plus pi r square. Now 6 into 5 square, 6 into 25, that's 150 plus 22 by 7 and r square. R is 2.1 into 2.1. If you will cut this, you will get 0.3. Solve this. So 150 plus 13.86. So your final answer is 163.86 centimeter square. Let's move to next question. Now let's move to next question. It's given a wooden toy rocket is in the shape of a cone mounted on a cylinder. The height of the entire rocket is 26 while the height of conical part is 6. The base of the conical portion is of diameter 5 centimeter while the base diameter of cylindrical portion is 3 centimeter. This time they are not same. So if you have a cylinder and here your diameter is 3, that means your radius is 1.5. 1.5 centimeter and height total is 26 and for 6 centimeters of conical part, that means the remaining one is for cylindrical part. So height of cylindrical is 26 minus 6, you can say 20 centimeter. Now let's draw cone as it's mounted on here cylinder, but here the conical diameter is of base is given 5 centimeter. That means this radius is 2.5 and height of cone is just 6 centimeter. Height is 6 centimeter. So can we find L? Yes, L is r square plus h square, 2.5 square plus 6 square. 2.5 square is, you can use trick, 525 and 2 into 3 6. Although you should know the direct also, 25 square is 625, 36. So your answer is 42.25. Now you know if it's end with 25, so you have, as it's end with 25, so after point you have 5 and just think of two consecutive numbers whose product is 42. It's 6 into 7, so 6.5. L is 6.5. This we can do with the help of tricks only. Now let's see what we have to find. We have to find if the conical portion is to be painted with orange color and cylindrical portion is to be painted with yellow color. Find the area of rocket painted with each of these colors. So let's find first for orange color. area to be painted orange. That means we'll find TSA for conical portion. First, we have to paint the top. That means CSA of cone. And then if you realize that this much we have extra, how will get this much? This is, let's write CSA of cone plus this pi r square, pi capital R square minus pi small r square. Yes. Now what is CSA of cone? It's pi RL. Here pi r square minus pi small r square. Now you can take this pi common. What we are left with? R into L. Small r is 1.5. 1.5 into L, that is 6.5, plus here r square, that is 2.5 square, minus 1.5 square. That means pi, here it's given that you have to use 3.14. Now if you will solve this, at last what you will get 20.25. You can check this. And the answer is 63.585 centimeter square. Now we have to find area to be painted yellow. Area to be painted yellow. That means we'll see cylindrical part now. For cylindrical part, we'll paint this one. That means CSA of cylinder. And then what you will do? You will also paint this base. That means pi r square circle. So I will write CSA of cylinder is 2 pi r h plus pi r square. Here r is same. So you can take pi r common. You are left with 2h plus r. Now again 3.14 into 1.5 into twice of h. That is, here h is, you can use capital H. For cylinder we use capital H. So that is 40. 2 into 20 is 40 plus that's 1.5. You can say 4.71 into 41.5, and the final answer is 195.465 centimeter square. So these are our final answer, this one and this one. Now let's move to HOTS. First question, water in a canal 5.4 meter wide. That means this is breadth. 1.8 meter deep. That means this is height. Is flowing with a speed of 25 km per hour. Whenever speed is given in this type of question, you will always take as one of the dimension. So here B and H are given. That means you will take this as length, 25 km. Now, but it's in meter, so we'll convert this in meter. You can say 25,000 meter. In 1 kilometer, we have 1000 meter. Now, what's the use of this 1 hour? It will give you that in 1 hour, volume of water flowing out is its volume. Volume of water flowing out equal to volume of cuboid. Yes, and what is volume of cuboid? It's L into B into H. So simply multiply that. L into B into H. And that's will give you 25,000 into 5.4 into 1.8. Yes, this much meter cube in 1 hour. But what we need in 40 minutes. So first write in 40 minutes volume of water flowing out in 40 minutes. Flowing out in 40 minutes. So for that what we'll do, because this much is for 60 minutes. So what we'll do, we'll write 25,000 into 5.4 into 1.8 divided by 60. Now this will give us for 1 minute and then we'll multiply for 40. Yes. Now if you will solve this, what you'll get? Just write it's 2 by 3 and then it's 0.6. Yes. So you will get 162,000 meter cube. Now This much is the total volume of water that will flow out from a canal in 40 minutes. But where it's going to irrigate a land whose height is 10 centimeter. You have to tell the area of this. You know that area into height is volume. So we have to equate this with area into height. And height we know 10 centimeter. Again, we have to convert this in meter. So we'll write 0.1 meter. So if you will equate with this, what we'll get that your area is 162,000 divided by 0.1, and that's 162 four zeros meter square. Okay, so in this type of question, you will always take speed as one of the dimension. Then you will find the volume and equate it to height into area. Let's move to next question. The well of diameter 3 meter. Let's draw that well. Diameter 3 means that your radius is 1.5. Is dug with 14 meter deep. That means its height is 14 meter. The earth taken out of it has been spread evenly. Now this it's spread evenly like this in the shape of a circular ring of width 4 meter. Now this much is 4 meter. This is 1.5 and then further it's 4 meter. That means you can say the total R from here to here. Total R is 1.5 plus 4. That means 5.5 meter. Now you have to find the height of this embankment. Height. You know that it should be less than this because obviously the radius is more here. We have to find this height. So I'm taking this as small h and this as capital H. Now, volume should be equal because we use the same earth. So we'll write volume of well is equal to volume of embankment. And both are cylinder only. So volume of well, it's direct pi r square h. R you have used smaller one and h capital one. But here if you'll see carefully, here the volume is only this much. That means outer minus inner. Outer cylinder minus inner cylinder. Volume of outer cylinder minus inner. So let's put the values here. It's pi r square h is equal to, you can write pi and h you can take common. You can write r square minus r square. Now we can cut pi and pi and we can write r square. What's small r square? It's 1.5 square into 14, h is 14, is equal to small h that we have to find r square minus r square. That means r minus r plus r. Now 1.5 square is 2.25 into 14 is equal to h. R minus r is 5.5 minus 1.5. You can say 4 and plus 5.5 plus 1.5 is 7. Now you can cut this 7 1 and it's 2, then 2 1 and it's, so you are left with 2h is equal to 2.25. From here you can say that your h is 2.25 by 2. That means 1.125 meter. Now it's time for your concept checkpoint. Solve this question and drop your answer in the comment box. If you practice these questions sincerely, good marks are guaranteed. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel Mathify with Meenakshi. Thank you everyone.